We live? Okay. All right, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here with another interview. We are interviewing Alex Paschall.
Paschall, yeah.
Paschall.
Yeah,
I got it right the first time.
Yes.
I usually murder
That's all right.
names.
I always do it to one of my streams. It's
Okay.
Cool. It's cool.
He was the community manager of the Unreal Engine for Epic Games. I'm joined by my buddy Dust Design down there.
What's
You
going
guys
on,
know
everybody?
Dust.
How you guys doing today?
We're gonna jump right into this interview. Alex, welcome.
Hey, thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank you for
I'm
coming.
really excited to be here. It was a lot of fun.
Dude, we've been talking to Alex for a while. We
Yeah.
actually just got done with Robo Recall,
I
which we'll
convinced
talk
him to
about.
get into Robo Recall.
Yes,
So
it was
good.
awesome. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I think we have a couple questions that me and Dust went over before the stream actually happened.
Sweet.
So,
Yeah, please shoot me.
Dust, you
Yeah.
go ahead and start us off with the first question, big guy.
All right, so what do you do as a community manager for Unreal and Epic Games?
So I mostly herd cats is the easiest way to put it into one sentence. I
Cool.
herd cats. You meet people, they're all over the place. You got to bring them together and get them in one central location. I do a lot of that.
So is there a litter
Yeah.
box for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of meow mix.
Yeah, lots of that. You gotta get off like the kitty litter, make sure that they're all good. No, it really is. It's mostly you meet people from all walks of life, all
Sure.
kinds of games that they're making, and most of them aren't even gamers at all themselves. Like most of them just make games. So yeah, it's pretty different. You have to bring them together and then get them to get along.
Okay.
And then help each other out, and mostly they're good for that. So yeah.
There
it's
you go.
fun. Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I'll go ahead and jump into. All right, so
Yeah, go for it.
I know community management is a little bit different for what you do with Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
What does that normally entail for you as the Unreal Engine community manager? Like, what does your day-to-day life look like?
So for other community managers that are game-specific community managers, life is a little bit different than mine. I do stuff only with developers. I don't talk to gamers themselves at all. So my day-to-day is I get in, I check all of my various inboxes. I've got forums and Twitter and Discord, etc. And I see what's the biggest fire. Put out the biggest fire.
Mm-hmm.
If the game is crashing and it's like a really important game, they're really close to launch, I have to grab that guy and I have to like bring him in and be like, oh, here's our developer here. Let me connect you with him. Let's solve it as fast as possible and get your game out the door and solve that. And then I go through all of those into like maybe people having issues with marketplace items. They're selling through our marketplace, like how Gumroad exists and all that, like all the different asset stores. So I do a lot of that. And then, I encourage people. I do Twitch streams, so I actually have to grab our developers, people who have worked on, Paragon, Epic Games, various titles.
I like Paragon.
And I bring them in. We had Nick Darnell from Robo Recall. Like we talked about optimizing Robo Recall, and we do that. We bring them in and we just talk about the games and how the back end is made. I don't talk about so much how exciting and fun it is as much as it's like, here's how we got it to be good on the backside. Like, we brought them in and we talked about how everything is fake in Robo Recall. Like there's what is it? The fans that you see like in a room and they have a shadow on the ground. The shadow's a mesh with like a fake material on it to make it look like a shadow.
Really?
And it's actually more performant than a real shadow. And stuff like that. That's what
That's
we
kind
get
of
into
cool.
a lot.
That's
That's really cool.
It's very different than like a gaming stream where gamers play and they talk about like, oh yeah, like I just killed that guy, it was exciting. I'll tell you why the line trace killed him and exactly how much damage it is and why there was a multiplier attached to it.
See.
And that's what we do. It's very different.
That's stuff I like.
Yeah.
I love hearing.
that's
I love hearing the
Well,
like
come
geeky
out
stuff.
to the Unreal Engine stream sometime, and that's all we do is we tear games apart and we show you the guts. Kotaku put out the article that's like, here's the guts of Horizon Zero Dawn the other day, and they were showing you like frustrum calling, and that's actually its default in Unreal Engine. And so like all these really cool features, like we just show them off all the time.
So wait, Horizon Zero Dawn was made on the Unreal Engine?
No.
Oh, okay.
They built like they had a recent article about how they built Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
And everyone at Epic was watching. It's like, we should do this because we do all that as well. Like all the stuff that they're doing on their back end. Like, yeah, these are pretty cool techniques. They're well executed, but we do them too. So we like to show them off on our streams. So that's where we're really different than maybe like a gaming stream or a gaming community manager. Like I know Andy Bendit from Funcom. If you guys play Conan Exiles, like those guys are so cool. Really nice folks. And yeah, he's always dealing with, fights between players, server down issues and trying to, help people out with that. So it's pretty different work. His is mostly with gamers.
I know you mentioned earlier that you were with Funcom for a little bit.
Yeah, I came from that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was a GM for the Secret World and Age of Conan. If you guys ever played those, I probably saw you flying around. So.
Oh yeah. You've definitely seen some of our community members in there.
I might have banned some of them. Oops.
So I'll let you answer.
So tell us a little bit background on like Epic Games, where they really came from, how they.
Yeah.
And how long you've been there?
How long you've been there?
So I've been at Epic for 4 years, but I'm a game historian.
Okay.
This is like my hobby is to look up the history of game companies, figure out how their origins and all that.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So Potomac Software was Tim Sweeney's basement, or I shouldn't say basement, garage project. He was like, late teenager, 18, 19, in his parents' garage, cranking out word processor software like Notepad. He's making like his own flavor of Notepad before Notepad existed. And one day he's like scrolling through the letters and he goes, if I program this letter to not be passable, it's like a wall. And if I do that around here in a circle, it's like a house. And then he made a game called Town of Zit, which is one of those old school top down. It's like Rogue, like the old Rogue games, like very simple style. But he built it on a word processor, and then from there he just took off. All he did was put in, floppy disk after floppy disk in his machine, cranking out copies. He put out an ad in the back of a cheap newspaper for like $5, and said, "You send me $3 to this mailing address. It's his parents' house, and I will send you a floppy disk in a Ziploc bag." And suddenly tons of people hit him up, not to buy the game, but because they had made their own games and didn't know how to put the floppy disk in the bag and send it out. They were just like a lot of these guys were afraid to reach out and talk to people about their games, and Tim just became sort of a pseudo publisher for their floppy disk games and just cranked them out of his parents' PC.
That's awesome.
And then a couple years later, he meets up with a few more guys. They all team up. We get Mark Rain, who's like really charismatic, and he came from Doom. Like he was a Doom QA tester.
Oh man.
And so
got some Doom players.
Yeah. He was a Doom QA. Meets up with Tim Sweeney, realizes he's this genius programmer, they gel, get along well, and he becomes the face, and Tim is the brain, and they just work together and start building a crew, and then next thing you know, it's Unreal Tournament, and then they have like the expansion packs, and they're just building out from there, and then we hit like Gears era,
yeah,
we're like pushing 360s, but yeah, like there's this massive catalog that they had to build before even Unreal Tournament with Jazz Jackrabbit and Epic Pinball and all that. But yeah, it's fun to go back through the history of it because you can see the hand-drawn map. We actually have this at the office. You guys, you got to come out to HQ.
I would love
official
that.
invite, guys.
There's framed on the wall Tim Sweeney's hand-drawn map of Town of Zit, like from when he was like 19.
Oh my gosh!
It was drawn the year after I was born. Like this guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, I love that.
What year?
89.
Oh, I'm 90. I'm 90.
So yeah, he was the same year you were born.
Okay.
Man, am I really the old guy on this panel?
Yeah,
Am
yes,
I really
you are the old guy on this panel.
Man, jeez.
And yes, guys, everybody in chat, games were on floppy disk that you cannot download the games back in the 90s, okay?
Multiple. If you had a big game, it was like a stack of floppy disks, like this thick.
This big.
You know?
This big.
And it is the equivalent of like the worst flash drive you could find. You couldn't even find a flash drive that holds that little information.
That's awesome.
These days. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of the history of Epic. A lot of hard work and effort, and now we're like 400 plus people. And it's
Wow.
Holy cow.
Tim cranking out those little floppy disks. Yeah.
It all starts with floppy disks.
I love Tim. He's my hero.
That's
Super humble, nice guy. Yeah, super nice.
I now know how Epic Games was born, but via floppy disk.
Yeah. If you ever meet Tim Sweeney in person and talk to him, you will get the immediate impression that that was like yesterday that he was doing that or something, because he doesn't put on that air of like, yeah, Porsches and all that. He doesn't really. No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Super chill.
That's
Super
good.
chill,
That's
down-to-earth
good.
guy.
Yeah, he likes, we have a 2-story slide and a rock climbing wall because he likes rock climbing and slides.
I need that job.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
come on, man. Okay, I guess that brings us to I guess that kind of explains like how Unreal Engine was born. Like, how was it put with Epic Games? Like, what did Epic Games buy it, or did they?
Oh no, Tim wrote that himself.
He wrote that entire.
Well, that plus like a big chunk of people. Like over time, it became more and more people. But Tim sat down. So Town of Zit was that like the floppy disk game. That was his first game ever, and it came out with a level editor, completely unheard of in that day and age. So he sends it out with an engine, basically, like a little mini engine for it on floppy disks.
Wow.
It's all built in, and so that's always been his motto. Has always been like, he wants to put power in your hands.
He gives you the building blocks.
That's why we have mod
Right.
editors for like all of our games. Like Unreal Tournament mod editor, Robo Recall has a mod editor. Like, and that's his whole philosophy is he wants to see a gamer play a game, like it, try making a couple alterations, and then realize they just want to build their home world.
Yeah.
And then they become a developer instead of a gamer.
Dude, that's
and
awesome.
So that's his whole philosophy, and so Unreal was born of that same philosophy. They made Unreal, they made Unreal Tournament, and they're like, people want to make map packs, put out an editor. And then Unreal 2 came around, Unreal 3 UDK became a lot better for scripting and all that. And now UE4 is just flat out a great generalist engine. I recommend it for everybody, but you know, I love it, so I'm always going to say that.
No partial, I promise.
No, yeah, I'm not biased.
No, not at all.
I'm not biased at all. No.
Oh, am I wearing this?
This says Epic Games, really?
Yeah, right.
I didn't know.
So for the viewers that are not current devs or anything like that that build games, what is the Unreal Engine and what could it do for a common person?
So the Unreal Engine is, as we call it, a generalist engine. It's an engine that is, okay, if you're not familiar at all, I should just back up a step here. Look. Okay, engines. Your game is not built out of art assets and code chunks and all that. It's built on an engine. It is the thing that pulls all those things together and holds them and makes them all nice and succinct and then packages them out and be executable that you play as your final product.
All right.
So Unreal is a suite of tools that come in together as an engine. So you have things like particle editors and material editors and all that built into it. And then yeah, you import all of your chunks of your game. You have an artist, he gives you a 3D model of a character. You have an animator, he comes in and takes the character and makes him run around. Your programmer says when he throws a punch, it should hurt something and all that. And you have to do all of that through an engine. And either you custom roll your own, which is you have to have some pretty good programming skills to custom roll your own engine.
Yeah.
Or you can use one of the pre-made ones that are out there. There's a lot that are open to the public. Unreal is totally free. We throw it in your hands as fast as we can. And our kind of big thing is being free and accessible. And we have blueprints, which are artist-friendly way of learning to program. I was an artist, now I do AI. And I do it all through blueprints. I don't touch a line of code, and so it's just connecting ideas together. And so yeah, Unreal is just a generalist engine in that sense. You can build any kind of game, shooter, RPG, dating sims. We got a lot of that. JRPG dating sims, actually, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, racing games, etc. Every fighting game that's out right now is on Unreal Engine. Street Fighter 5,
Yes.
Injustice 2 is, I think, maybe UE3, Tekken 7, we've got Guilty Gear, the new Guilty Gear that just came out, that's also Unreal. So we just do every kind of thing, but with that, we have to build a lot of tools.
Sure.
You know, one guy doesn't need AI ever, but this other guy's going to need it all day, and yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of what our engine does, brings everything together, and we're probably the most robust one out there.
Okay.
And that's why some people see us as a little intimidating because we're big, but we're also easy. Like once you pick one avenue to go down, super smooth to get rolling and learn something off of that.
So I guess by saying that, when you go to build a game, you have Unreal Engine is kind of like a tree, so you can go down any avenue you want to with your game.
It's kind of like a tree that branches out. There's the core trunk of it, which is blueprints probably. It's like the core of it. You're going to have to learn something about that, no matter what. And then you can branch off into particle effects, animations. You can end up in behavior tree. And this is where I ended up is I went environment art, and then I curved over into behavior trees. And behavior trees are the structure in which your AI rolls through logic. And so it prioritizes what is important, and then you give it various parameters to be like, oh, I'm close to the enemy, I'm close to the health, I'm close to this, I should do this versus that. And so you create different levels of what's important. And then I went from, I was modeling rocks. And then I went to that, and then I'm like, now I'm in environment query system, which is a part of that. It's like even deeper in AI where you search everything around you, find all of the objects in the world, and like you have a world full of apples, you need to eat an apple, and it actually decides which apple in the world is the best one for you to pick because of its closeness, how easy to path to it is, how many bad guys might be nearby it, and all those different factors. And that's built right in. That's just a default feature.
That's sick, man.
Like a lot of it's just a checkbox too. It's like, how do I make my guy jump? No, it's pre-built. You don't have to think about it.
Just Click that one right there.
There's a checkbox for this, checkbox for that. How do I make my guy explode? Legitimately, there's like an explode checkbox. There's always
My guy explode checkbox right here.
Yeah. We really open it up, and we have open source. We have what we call full source access. Open source is actually a totally different thing, but we do have full source access. If you're a programmer, you can rip the guts out of the engine. We had a guy rip out the physics engine and throw in his own physics engine, which is just nuts. But he did it. It worked. So good. More power to him.
Wow,
There you go.
that's
That
impressive.
wasn't like too weird and technical.
No, it's versatile.
No.
That's great.
We've got plenty of techies, plenty of gamers out there that like I think this will make them appreciate the games they play more.
Absolutely.
Because right now you're talking to the guy that like loves water particle effects and like all of that. So we talked about it earlier.
Yeah. Water shaders are cool, man. Like you haven't lived until you've been like, yeah, here's a nice ocean, and then you drop a water in it, and you can see like a splash. And, like, the actual
Water.
ripples change, and we actually have a demo now that has a surfing thing. You can see it in a couple of our videos. It's not public yet, but you can see our videos online. It's a surfing game where the water actually barrels up, and it will barrel around you and crash back into itself, and it actually pushes you forward just like a barrel would for surfing. And it's all physics driven, and it was made by Ryan Brooks. He's a genius. I love that guy.
Awesome.
I'm gonna
Good
love
shout
him
out.
because I
For
love
sure.
water in games.
Good shout
Like,
out, for
it's
sure.
beautiful. I guess that brings me to a question that I've had for quite a while. So, say a game like PlayerUnknown or Conan Exiles is made, and they become like a AAA title or something like that.
Yeah.
Do they? I know Unreal Engine is free. Do they have to pay like royalties or anything towards you guys, or?
So yeah, the monetization that Unreal has is a royalty. We do 5% royalty on your sales after $3,000. So the reason it sounds weird and complicated is we found a bunch of indies, right? Like there's indies out there that are on mobile titles, etc.
Yeah.
You make a mobile game, you might only pull in a couple $100s every quarter, and then you're paying 5% royalty on that, and it doesn't feel good because you need that money to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tim, actually, one guy showed up to our Answer Hub one day, and he's just like, hey, if I only make $1 off of my iPhone game for an entire quarter, do I have to send you 5 cents as a check? And Tim showed up himself, like out of nowhere, like he just does this. He just shows up and without telling the legal department, not telling anybody, just shows up. He's like, hey, I'm gonna fix this actually. So we're gonna make it so that you can have a few $1,000s before we even try to take your money. And so yeah, it's changed drastically since the beginning. Now you can make up to $3,000 per. You make $12,000 a year total off of each quarter, and you never have to pay us a dime. You make any more, then yeah, you're going to get a little 5% royalty, and you can negotiate out of that if you're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
And a lot of these big guys, they'll be pulling in millions, and so they don't want to pay 5% of millions because that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of
after
money.
a while, you know. And so they show up to us, and they're going to get a custom license where they pay like a flat rate up front, which I can't say what those look like because they vary.
Yeah, understandable.
And it's always a lot because they're big. And so you pay a flat rate, and you never have to worry about the royalty, or you could lessen the royalty for a cheaper amount. So there's like all kinds of negotiation that goes there.
Awesome.
But you gotta definitely be pulling in some good player
Serious.
amounts, real serious cash for that. But generally we have great support anyway, so most people don't even need it. Yeah.
I am thoroughly impressed.
That's
I'm very
fantastic.
thoroughly
That's
impressed.
great.
And also we're human too. If you ever have like a custom thing you need to do, you just email us. We talk to everybody. We're just normal people. A lot of people ask me if they can or can't do something, and they're like afraid that we're like giant evil robots, that we have like our direct programming that says we can or cannot do that. No, we'll negotiate and talk. Yeah, we're people. Have a beer. It's
No,
cool.
we're the good guys in Robo Recall. I just want to put that out
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
I'll
right.
give the next one over to Dust.
So Zach and I just checked out
Robo
Recall.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Now
just dying to get you guys into that.
Oh, dude.
that game, that was absolutely phenomenal. If anybody out there has the Oculus, it is free.
It's free with the touch. Yeah.
Free with the touch.
You have the Oculus and the touch. It's free. Otherwise, it's $30.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you have the Oculus Touch, it's free, and I highly suggest you get it.
It's beautiful.
Like,
Oh my
I was
gosh.
literally taking a robot head and punching it with my other hand, just for fun. Like, it was incredible.
Oh yeah, you can just tear those guys apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just rip their heads off and rip their limbs off and stuff and throw them and all kinds of crazy stuff. Definitely check it out, guys.
It's one thing to hear it. The second that you're like, it's looking you in the eyes, it's like, what are you doing? And then it's very intense.
It was so cool seeing, like, because I've played VR games before. It was so cool seeing, like, being able to rip the head off, and you see like the stuff hanging down from the robot's head, and
Yes.
you're able to take his head apart like a little bit more. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. Yeah, you can shake it. And all, yeah,
Jiggle around. Oh yeah.
it was so cool. Like at one point, I was using a robot's body as a shield, and this guy came to the left, and I like straight up bad boys to him and threw the other dude up in the air, and I was sitting there popping shots in the air.
Yeah, you can juggle them up in the air.
Yeah, you can juggle your gun. Oh my gosh.
There's secrets like hidden in it. So if you juggle them high enough in the air, they'll actually do audio cues that like kick off. So if he gets high enough, he'll actually say, "I can see robot heaven from here," and I'm so high
That's
right
awesome.
now.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, the programmers were great for that.
Yeah, the best thing I ever probably did, and when I did it, the guy that was training me or watching me, he was like, "I've never seen that before." I basically took the little spider robot and grabbed him, threw him, did a finger gun, and went pew, right when he blew up, and I was like, "Done, did it."
That's
It was
pretty cool.
incredible. So, what games, other than Robo Recall, do you see that are coming out soon or know about anything about? What are you really excited for?
Okay, so Servios has raw data. If you like,
Okay.
if you like Robo Recall, raw data is like the sister game to it, and that's another Unreal game. Those guys are great. I love the Servios team. Hi guys. And their game is cool. It's like waves of robots, and they have like katanas, and they have like bow and arrow. They have a bunch of different stuff too.
Katanas right there, man.
Like katanas, and yeah. It's a very intense game. So besides like that one, we actually have like a lot of smaller demos and things like that. I'd
Okay.
like to throw out like a shout out to like Annie Amber for Gear VR.
Okay.
That's a really nice one made by a friend of mine. It's another Unreal title, but mostly the titles that we see are things Whole Nation VR. They're fun, they're casual, they're more calm. People aren't doing too many intense things yet because we're still getting used to throwing you into action and making you not puke.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We've given I've actually done like a ton of talks on our Twitch stream with developers about how to not make people puke and how to make them puke.
Great title.
And it's just straight up about what we call sim sickness, which is really
All right.
which is really motion sickness.
Yeah.
It's simulated reality, and so we just try to find things. We come up with techniques like vehicling, is what we call it, where we'll put you in like a bubble type of thing, and so Hover Junkers does vehicling, where
Okay.
you're literally in a vehicle, and that explains why you're moving. And so your brain goes, "Oh, I'm moving because I'm in a car. That's acceptable." If you were just floating, you'd be hurling all over the place. Oh yeah, it's awful. So what we did is we come up with techniques like vehicling. We come up with ideas about how to let you know that you're present, but the reason you're moving makes sense because we have to make your brain believe that it's okay.
Have you had an experience where somebody has puked?
No, I haven't had experience
That's so
where someone
good.
has puked, but I've seen a lot of people get hit a lot.
Okay,
And
okay.
I've been struck myself in various places by enthusiastic players. Yeah,
Like myself.
I had someone swing back at me right in the crotch once. That was not a fun day. And I was far away from him too. He was just getting really violent at it, but he was destroying robots really good.
Yeah, he was tearing those robots up.
Yeah, he didn't even notice. He didn't even notice at all that he hit a real person. And I saw last year at ECGC, at that exact booth where you guys were playing over there, I saw one guy get just knocked right in the face, just
No.
just right in the chin. That was one of our QA guys too. He was just manning the booth, being normal, pretty far off, and the guy just does a haymaker and spins all the way around, slams him right in the jaw. So when you're making a particularly action-packed VR game, be aware people can get injured.
It's like the Wii fiasco from when the first Nintendo Wii came out. You just
Go
throw
right
the
through the
remote
TV,
right through the
right?
TV. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of YouTubes of people falling and busting their face and
yeah.
hitting things. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
speak from experience. At Best Buy, we talked about this on the first panel. I was playing PSVR at Best Buy and busted my face. Like, I'm talking straight up, fell, hit my chin. I had a scuff right here on my chin for like weeks.
That's why he has a beard, guys.
Yeah, that's why I have the beard.
Oh,
I
it's
keep the
hiding-
beard. Yes, to
hiding
hide
it.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I'm a big PSVR fan too. So
I like PSVR.
yeah, I love Resident Evil 7 in PSVR.
I haven't gotten the pleasure to play that yet.
Oh man, I know a lot of people that have a PSVR and they have Resident Evil 7. They will play PSVR games. They'll play Resident Evil 7. They won't do them both. There's no other way to play that game. It's amazing like that. I like that one.
Sweet.
I watched my friend's girlfriend play that in VR, and she screamed through the headset, broke the headset, ran downstairs crying, and that was the end of her gaming experience forever. Just because it
She's
was
done.
that part where, like, sorry if anybody has spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert for anybody in the chat, but it's been out long enough. You should already have played it by now. It was the part where the lady kept running at you with the knife.
Yeah.
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 And you see that, like, in your face,
She
and you,
gets up in your face, yeah.
yeah, she gets right here, and right as she pops into the camera, headset went off, hit my friend. She's running downstairs, tears streaming. It was awesome.
I'm gonna try to say this one without spoilers, but there's a boss fight later on where there's a scene where I'm like creeping around because it's a boss fight and I know I'm in the middle of a fight. And
Yeah.
it just goes quiet and I don't know where the boss went and I'm like sneaking around, like ducking, leaning, like where'd she go? And then I look up and there's like a hole in the ceiling and the head is like peering down, watching me sneak around, trying to avoid her. And it's been watching me the whole time. And I just freaked out at that point. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, great game. Yeah.
Good stuff.
So we touched on the like not being able to like make people puke.
Oh,
so we were actually going to ask you about motion sickness, but we've actually got a friend that is colorblind. He's right there.
Oh, yeah.
How do you guys deal with color blindness?
So color blindness is actually a really interesting thing. We do a lot in accessibility as far as trying to make things better for people maybe missing digits, et cetera, We can have like things that you can remap in the engine, etc. Robo Recall, I'm not sure if they've actually put in the color blindness settings, but we actually do have some ways of doing that, and we have a lot of things like post-process that you could just actually make adjustments to the tonal values of the colors in the world.
Okay.
So yeah, it's totally feasible. I'm not sure if it's built in yet, but it could be.
Okay.
And I can talk to our guys about it. Accessibility is a thing that we want to like address. My wife actually works totally in accessibility work, so that's what she does.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
We were talking about that earlier. So like with color blindness, he was talking about like how VR gave him like headaches, but he hasn't played like an Epic Games like Robo Recall. What do you guys do to keep people from getting like headaches and killing their vision and stuff like that?
Okay, so a lot of things that we do are, so there's a lot of techniques that we know about that help with headaches, vision, blurriness, and all that stuff. Things like not blinding them with white a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple areas where we use white strongly, but not a lot. Most of the time you're in mute, cityscape, urban areas where things are mostly gray, bluish, and then maybe reflective surfaces of the gray and bluish colors.
Okay.
And that kind of helps. Blue isn't a great color to look at, but red is worse. Like there's definitely like levels of different colors your eyes like do better with, and will hurt more later on. Most of what they do, a lot of what they did was with the forward renderer. We're a deferred renderer, technical things. We're a deferred renderer by default with PBR, a physically based rendering. We implemented a second renderer, like an older forward rendering system, so that we can have MSAA, which is an anti-aliasing thing. Basically, you ever played like an older game on a higher def monitor and like they put their arm out or something, you see those jagged lines?
Yes.
Yeah. That'll drive your brain crazy in VR. So
Okay.
we came up with we had to go and use a whole other renderer to remove what we call jaggies. And that's a technical term, the jaggies. You get the jaggies off of the surfaces and all that. And we came up with so many weird terms for this that ended up being
The jaggies.
So when you grab the head and you shake it around, the thing that's the flappy bits.
The
Flappy bits is
I'm forever
guys.
referring to that as the flappy bits.
In Paragon, you see like a character running around, and you'll see like their satchels and all the stuff like hanging off them. Those are flappy bits.
Flappy
and we
bits.
actually have Lena Halper, who invented that whole system. She comes onto the stream, and she's the one that coined it. Where she's like, "Yeah, like the boys run around, they have flappy bits on their sides." I'm like, "Don't say it like that."
Don't say flappy
boys
bits
don't
on the
say
side,
flappy bits.
especially with boys.
The boys don't have flappy bits. Don't say that.
We're talking to you, Conan Exiles.
She's so sweet with that. She thought it was hilarious. But yeah, so we removed those jagged edges and smooth out things so your eyes see it better. And Oculus did a lot of great stuff with just they have very good rendering in their headset in the beginning, and that really makes a big difference. Your brain will actually slowly get rid of pixelization. If you play PSVR long enough, you'll stop noticing that pixelization versus other things.
Really?
But Oculus does it very well, so it's a lot easier to smooth in there.
I was
Same
gonna
thing
say
with
I
Valve.
didn't notice that with Oculus.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, it was
It's called the
great.
screen door effect.
Okay.
So screen door effect is just like if you defocus your eyes, you will notice the like lines between the pixels, and then you can't unsee it, and it'll mess with your head so bad.
So always be focused.
Always focus. Just keep, when you go into VR, don't try to get out of it. Try to be in it. Try to accept your perceived reality. That's all I can tell you.
And fully immerse, and
otherwise,
then
like if you're really trying to break immersion yourself, you might do it, and that's not going to feel good.
Yeah.
And so you're only going to hurt yourself in that one. So
Gotcha.
that's my advice to anyone playing VR games.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. Well, thank you. And now, what about the industry is really pushing forward on VR? We've seen, you know, the past couple of years with Oculus growing as much as it has, and a lot of different VR companies coming out. I see kind of a trend going towards VR.
Definitely.
Now, do you think that's going to be like the new thing? Do you think it's going to be like kind of replacing consoles in a way, or
I
adding
think-
to it?
I think it's going to be a new medium, for sure. In the same way that, okay, so I wouldn't say that consoles replace PC or PC replaced consoles.
Sure.
In the same way that VR isn't going to replace traditional games, and the
Okay.
same way that 3D games didn't replace 2D games.
Sure.
And actually, if you go back in history and you look at magazine articles and like BBS, like old bulletin board discussions, when games were switching from 2D to 3D commonly, it's the same exact conversations over and over again that we're having again today with VR. Who can even run this on their machines? 3D, that's so
Yeah.
much. Who's going to have a graphics card that can do that? The hardware, it's
Yeah.
going to be like these limitations and those limitations. So we're having those conversations again with VR, and I think that we're going to just see it fit into that balance where we have slots for everything, and there's just going to be another group that specializes more in it, that wants that more. You know, there are people that I know that play 2D games almost exclusively. They play no realistic games, only stylized 3D or something like that. They just like that style.
Okay.
And for some people, VR is life, and I'm one of those people. I put a headset on, that's the game I want to play. I love playing Skyrim in the traditional style first-person games. But
Sure.
Yeah, once you've gotten into it a little bit, it's a drug. You know, it
And
gets
it
you.
just
It
gets
gets
you hooked and you're done.
But it's not for everyone. There's some
Okay.
people out there, they get one touch of it and they're done. And they go right
Yeah.
back to traditional, and it's not for them. And that's why we still have 2D market, we still have
Right.
like various other markets. Like, yeah, it won't phase anything else out. It'll just carve a nook of its own. In
Its
the
own
industry.
thing. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Real quick, I'm gonna move your mic just a tad closer.
Oh, you want me to like lean it in? So?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Well,
I did have a question.
I mean, if chat wants to know anything, I can talk to them.
Yeah, let's go ahead and open it up to chat for a little
Yeah,
bit.
I love talking to chat. That's like one of my
Hey,
favorite
chat.
things to do on our stream. I just like lean
Here,
over, like, what are
actually,
they
Dust,
doing?
move the
Here.
tablet over so he can see it.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's a little bit easier to see than my phone. Chat, we're going to open it up to you guys and see if you have any questions for Alex here for Epic Games.
Yeah. And feel free to make fun of my hair or piercings. I got like tattoos.
Chat, I will ban you. I'm just joking.
if he
You will be
doesn't mow,
fired.
well, it's fine.
Let's see. Yeah, background noise at the con. Yeah. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. It's a good con. I don't know if anyone out there's been to ECGC before, but it's neat. I keep seeing people I know. I see David over there. Hi, buddy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see here.
I don't see anything yet. Anybody have any questions for
Those
Alex?
dudes are being ignored, though. Come on, guys. You can't be ignored.
Dudes right there.
Dudes.
Big dudes.
Is that dudes?
Yeah, that's
That
his
is
dudes.
Dudes.
His name is actually Il Dottore, but he got coined Dudes. Oh, here's one. Operations.
Alex, what's your major in? What college? Oh, yes, good question. So operations is asking what my major was and what college I went to. So I did study game design. I am, even though a community manager, I am an indie game developer, all of my own too, which is why I was brought in on this. So my major was simulation and game development. I went to Wake Tech, which is right down in North Carolina here. It's really inexpensive, actually. The classes there are not expensive. I did a series of semesters there, and before my final project happened, I was at Funcom for a little while. Then Funcom had some layoffs, and I was one of them. Like, no hard feelings. I love those guys so much. I knew why. So I went back to college, go to finish up my degree, and not like a few weeks later, I get another call from a recruiting agency that says a company in the area that will not disclose its name wants you to come in and do an interview.
Oh, man.
And so I dropped my classes then. I never got my degree. And then it was really funny when they said like a company that won't disclose its name. I'm like, cool, I'll go in for the Epic interview tomorrow. So I knew.
Yeah.
They're very funny about that. They're the only company in the area that won't really disclose that it's them interviewing you.
Right.
So when you get that, you know it's them.
Yeah.
Like Funcom, like Red Storm, it's always very upfront. They're like, yeah, you got the Red Storm interview coming up, Funcom. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, those were my majors there. Is there going to be a game similar to Infinity Blade for Android devices? Sort of. We have Battle Breakers out now, which is our new
I have to download
mobile game. So Battle Breakers is coming to the United States. It's launched right now in a couple other countries for soft launches, and then we're gonna do like a big one here and a big one in Europe, and unveil it there and there. And that one's not as direct action as like Infinity Blade. You have to slice them up constantly. This one's a turn-based JRPG style. So we have a new mobile game coming out there.
Sweet.
Let's see here, Silicon Sentry. Are there any options for making an Unreal Engine run better on older GPU hardware while doing design? Yes. We have scalability inside the engine itself. If you go under the edit menu, we have like scalability, and you can go from epic, and actually cinematic is our highest quality, and you go to epic, high, low, medium. High, medium, low. Throw it on low, and you'll see that it's built for that's for low-end mobile devices. We actually have when you make a new project, you can choose desktop or mobile. Choose mobile. That's going to go ahead and set it to the lower settings and make it easier to run on a weaker GPU. Or you can just go all the way high-end and then do Vulkan or Adreno, which is like crazy high GPU for mobile on that same setting. Let's see here. What is your favorite project that you have worked on? My favorite project that I've worked on is the engine itself, but I kind of don't work on any of the other projects directly. I'm an indirect source of stuff for them. Paragon is amazing for art. Gameplay, I love Fortnite. And then Unreal Tournament for the absolute fun of it, just blowing people away. Every single one of the games has got something unique to it, but I don't
okay.
know those. Oh, is it not strong enough?
It's picking up a lot. Yeah,
it's picking up a lot.
It's on Cardian. Yeah.
In the Unreal Engine,
You want me to
what is
switch
your
mics?
favorite feature from Molly Does a Thing? My favorite feature is the AI systems. Like, I went from, like I was saying earlier, I did rocks. Like, I was just like the guy who made rocks and trees and stuff. And then one day hey guys, actually,
hey, what's up?
Actually, our Android and general compatibility for consoles and whatnot guy just walked up and he's pointing at me over here. Hey Josh, how you doing? Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
Yeah. So this is actually one of our developers just walked over here with his nice hair. It's looking so good.
They can hear you better.
So good. Oh
mic.
wow. All right, that's nice.
You got two mics, man.
Yeah, I'm
You
looking
should feel
fancy.
special.
So yeah, but my favorite features of the engine are the behavior trees and EQS, and all that packaging stuff is junk. You get out of here with that. Oh yeah.
I saw one a little bit ago. Somebody was asking, is there going to be another Gears of War?
Is there ever going to be another Gears of War? Actually, Gears of War is owned by Coalition now. We sold it off to Microsoft so that they could kind of pick it up. We had so many game projects at once, we knew we couldn't also roll another AAA Gears at the same time as everything else. And we already had friends over there, so we did some negotiating, we did some talking. We gave Microsoft the Gears franchise, and then they created the Coalition. It was originally called Black Tusk. Coalition then made Gears 4. So Gears 4, we didn't even make anything in it really. We helped them when they had problems and bugs and stuff, and we actually fixed up the engine for them in a couple of places, and it was good for all of us. But we didn't make it. And the future ones will be made by Coalition, and I'm pretty positive that they're not going to stop that franchise. It's doing pretty good still. So
great,
still
man.
got a lot of life in that one.
Let's see.
Yeah. Let's see here.
If you guys didn't notice, White Shadow no longer has a mic.
Yeah, I no longer have a mic.
Oh yeah, do you need it?
No, you're good.
You sure?
You're more important.
You're way
wow.
more.
It's fine.
Well, let me see.
Little
here.
old White Shadow.
It's fine, guys.
What type of game do you play in your spare time? Games from Operations. I hate to admit that I play so many of the same games, but they're really old. I don't play a lot of more modern games. Mostly I play Mountain Blade, and I play a lot of I play Civ 6 with my wife a lot. She loves Civ 6.
Nice.
She was one of those people that's like, I'll never play one of those complicated management games. And then I sat her down once, and she's like, because that's what she does.
That's
like
like
she's
one
one
of
of
the
the most
complicated
organized. Like she loves that kind of stuff, and didn't realize that's what it was going to be. So
She's got the best
Civ,
house, guys.
And then Skyrim and all that. But they're actually older now. And then Resident Evil 7 is the newest that I've been kind of playing through. I play through all of our game suites, like all of the stuff. I actually went back and played the original Unreal again. Like,
Oh,
not
there
even
you go.
tournament, just like to play through it, and like it's popping up like the Cliffy B made this level and all that.
I know somewhere out there in the conference, Admired Plague is like, yo, Unreal Engine, my boy is talking about it out there. So he's out there somewhere. We just can't find him.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's it. I have a Steam account that has probably more in it than my bank account. Like, I have hundreds and hundreds of games, but I ended up playing. I'm still playing like Mountain Blade for hours.
Hey man, whenever you want to play.
Yeah. So you find those games out there, and they become your lifeblood. And so actually what I do is I try to recreate a lot of my favorite games through basic prototyping in Unreal. And I built out like villages of people that interact with each other, trying to understand how Civ does stuff. And yeah, AI is fun for that. So,
Nice.
Yeah, let's see. When is Unreal 5 coming out? You know what? This is actually really interesting. I'm not sure if they'll ever do 5 or they'll just keep doing these iterations, because we're on 4.15 and we'll do 4.16 and we'll just keep rolling.
Right.
Tim mentioned once, like the only time we were like in some meeting or something, he kind of says like, if you want Unreal Engine 5, we're going to have to basically make some sort of a massive leap to a completely different world of how game development works.
Sure.
And then he kind of went on to imply that it would be sort of more like when we're in the Matrix world and you have to jack into your games, then we'll not have to use 4. We'll have to move to a completely new thing.
I got you.
4 is very malleable.
Yes.
So we'll keep making it and changing it.
So it's like a
and,
modular engine that you can just keep advancing.
Since it's all made out of plugins, we can take chunks out as they become old, and then like put in
That's
new chunks
awesome.
as they become better. So yeah, so it'll just evolve the same engine for a long time.
I don't think you guys understand how huge that is for like the games that we play. Because I got a question for you that just popped up into my head.
Sure.
What percentage of all of the games on the market would you say are run by Unreal Engine?
Like in the market in general.
In general, like
in general, like all the entire market, I think 1%.
1%? Really?
Yeah. Because and it's for like any given engine. Because most people roll a small proprietary engine for their little game, like if it's not too big.
Okay.
And that's pretty common. And so like amongst the millions and millions and millions and millions of games you guys have never heard of, I've never heard of, the whole world has never heard of, because they're so small, they come out, they get buried under everything. Yeah, statistically speaking, that number drives up and makes us much smaller. And so every engine, actually it would be like all of the engines combined that are for sale publicly would be like that 1%.
Okay.
Because so many people make a proprietary, as we call it, a homemade little engine. And so that's where we're actually kind of bridging this gap now, where we're like, hey, you shouldn't do that, because we can just give you this all made, it's free, have a nice day. So it's actually,
don't waste time.
But
fine,
amongst the various markets, we do very, very well amongst our competitors, the other engines that are out there, and and our friends in various other softwares. We do extremely well, and are
great.
And, I can't give any exact numbers, but there are charts that go like this.
Hey,
and that's it.
Everybody likes up.
Charts that
Everybody likes positive charts.
You know, like, all the charts, they look like this, so it's all very good.
Sounds good. It's so technical, it's great.
Oh yeah. Now, how has the VR helped push Unreal into further VR development? Well, the VR has done a great job. It's actually Robo Recall was our big push, and that came from like Bullet Train, which was a tech demo. And we were just going to do a tech demo to show off, VR, it's capable, and Unreal, it's fun, here's the touch controllers and all that. And it was actually a tech demo for touch controllers back when they were not even out yet. Before that, we were cranking out like little environments where you'd be in VR looking around and flying through stuff. But VR has driven our engine to have a whole nother renderer. We were only a deferred renderer. We threw in a forward rendering system just to get all that extra help out of it. We created so many new techniques in the engine. We have things like you have stereo rendering, right? Like you're in VR, you have like you have 2 eyes. You have to render everything twice. So if you hit 120 FPS on like your PC, that's 60 FPS on VR. if that much, because it's going to add in some more to do the calculations. So what we did is we created instant stereo rendering, where we render out this eye, and then we render out different chunks in this eye, but we use a lot of the info here, and we kind of just like sneakily reuse info, so we're not having to do double rendering all the time. In some instances it hurts, but we've actually managed to fix those out a lot, and so we've built tons of systems around that, and we have a whole template. So if you guys wanted to make a VR game today, I could crack it out, like a laptop, crack it open, we bring up the VR template, and before we're even ready to do anything, we can put the headset on, and there's a world, you can grab stuff. We've built out all this so you can, like, it'll show you and teach you how to make an item you can pick up, how to make an item you can pick up and throw, how to make an item you can pick up and then shoot a gun out of. So we teach you how to do those things now, and it's because we had to learn it ourselves through trial and error.
That's so cool.
If you watch our live streams, you can see the trial and error live, where we're just like, does this work? No. Does this work? Nah. This works. Cool. And that's what AAA is at the end of the day, is we don't normally show you all of us failing 100 times, and then we show you the real thing. So everyone shows up to our streams and they're like, oh, they're having to debug constantly. Like, yeah, that's game development is 99% debugging. You tried 1% of the time, and that led to a bug, and so 99% of the time is fixing that one time you tried.
Let's watch White fail at making a V. Thank you, Silicon.
Yeah. Let's do it,
man.
Yeah. This is going to be great. What do you think the future of VR is? Also, is there any future in green screen fully immersive VR? So green screen fully immersive VR that's so we have a name for that too. So there's virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. And mixed reality is where you see like the Twitch streamer and he has the headset on and he's doing this, and you see the world on green screen behind him, like as he's like flying around and doing stuff. So you see the bad guys coming at him, and they like walk up on screen, and then when he punches them, you see him punching, but you see the real him with that like green screen cutout effect. And so yeah, actually we've been working on some solutions for that are like make it default in Unreal, but the future of VR is going to be locomotion. Like right now we've got hands, we've got head, we need to solve the leg problem. So we have like Virtuix Omni stuff, we have all kinds of stuff, but locomotion is the next big problem to solve. And then eventually we'll be getting into Ready Player One territory. And Ready Player One is like what we're aiming for, and then the final version of all VR is called Deep Dive. Deep Dive is not going to be soon. In fact, we'll all be like 90 before we see the first idea of Deep Dive. So yeah, if we make it to see that.
VR at 90.
And Deep Dive is where they jack you into the matrix. Like that's the neural connection, and we actually have like people who are thinking about how that works. But it's just something that without Elon Musk coming out and doing something, we're just not going to see. And Elon Musk likes Unreal Engine, by the way. We actually had to send one of our tech artists to teach his kids about using Unreal once. It was awesome.
So what you're telling me is Unreal Engine could be running Sony Equation's Tesla.
Oh my God. Yes. Actually, they show up on our forums too, and they look for people for work. So if you are a programmer or artist who wants to get hired, we have a hiring section. And I was shocked. I showed up one day and I'm like, that says a guy from Tesla is looking for work. And then I actually clicked on his I looked through his account, and the email was from Tesla, and it was actually one of their guys. And that's when I had my little like, oh my gosh, they're using our engine. I love them. And,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
That's
really
really
cool.
sweet.
Do you think Dragon Ball Z franchise would be epic in VR? Yes. Yes,
absolutely.
straight up Dragon Ball Z VR.
Yeah.
They're actually doing that in Japan. There is a VR Dragon Ball Z game. It's like you connect it and like you put your phone in. It's like one of the phone mobile type ones, and then it has like a hand detector. So you actually have to do Hame, and then when you actually have to put your hands forward, and it actually detects that and the voice recognition.
That's so
there's
cool.
trailers for this online. You got to look it up. But it's all in Japanese, and it's like two little kids doing it, and then like a big the dad comes in. He's like, "Oh yeah, Kamehameha!" and the kids are like, "Oh great, like dad's in on it."
Yeah,
Like,
great.
Dude,
Thanks, Dad.
Dad grew up on it. All right. You know? Yeah.
We started it. It's fine.
Yeah, you only inherited the Dragon Ball Z. We were born in it, molded by. Yeah, so check that out. It is rad. And I'm sure that we'll see like a Naruto version of it too. Like any awesome anime with good fighting, you're gonna see that.
Awesome.
There'll be. I want the Sailor Moon one because I need my transformation sequence. I'm gonna look so good in that outfit.
You know what would be really awesome, and this is another anime, Gundam. Sitting in the pilot of a Gundam in VR
Yeah, yeah, and that would be that would feel good
Yes.
in VR
Yes.
because that would be vehicling because we would put
Right.
the console in front of you and then you could use the touch controllers to like grab out and like,
Oh my
drive it
God, that's
forward.
amazing.
So I don't know if everyone here is familiar with it, but there was like this Armored Core game that came out, which actually came
Yep.
with it. Okay, good.
Yep.
So you could totally make a virtual console of that, plus like overhead and like total overlay. It'd be easy. Like that wouldn't even take anything. That's
Just-
like a mesh.
Just make sure you put seatbelts in, guys.
Dude.
Just-
I sucked at it, but
For
I
answer, I was in the top 10 on the leaderboard.
What's up, Will? Oh no! Oh, our screen froze.
Gotta refresh.
Oh man. Yeah, no, Armored Core is awesome.
That was my jam because that's the closest I could get to like fully multiplayer Gundam game.
Yeah, I always had to do long range because I was not particularly good, and I would just like hide off. And, no,
swords
don't
all
touch
day,
me!
man.
Don't touch me! Yeah. No, it would be but like seriously, like that's a mesh for the cockpit, and then like a couple other things. Was it?
I thought somebody said behind all of us, Ildos were. I was like, is Doc behind us? Doc, are you back there?
Well, I don't think he's there, guys.
We're good. Yeah. What about replacing the current controllers with some sort of glove to make it for? So this is actually something I was telling. I actually own some gloves, and I actually used to try to build my own. And so there's a group. There's actually several groups. Manus was the one that sent me some gloves, and there's a UE4 plugin for them. So I'm actually playing around with the Robo Recall mod editor, and I'm trying to see if I can't use. So what it is flex sensors. They're these strips that roll down your fingers, and as you bend your fingers, they bend, and it actually it resists the current of electricity coming in, and so the current changes, and then you get a different amount of aperture of bend, and so you can use that as a float value. I'm sorry. You can take that information and convert it into actual finger placement of the mesh. So you have like the video game hands will match up your real hands.
That's so cool.
And so what I need is a tracker that, like the Vive put out those individual tracker boxes that you
Sure.
can strap on, and I need like an Oculus version of that in order to do it better, because right now it's like you have to take the touch controls and strap them to the back of it.
Okay.
Because it's all finger and it doesn't do like the location tracking. So
Oh, I got you.
So yeah, it's actually it exists. There's like several companies making them. There's like Dexmo, which has resistance. So if you like try to grab something, it'll fight you. And
that'd be
but it's
cool.
like all these mechanical fingers are holding your fingers back, and it looks like an exoskeleton. It's nuts.
So like what you're
Tons of
telling
them.
me is like when the Hulkbuster armor and the Hulk are clashing hands in the middle of New
Yeah.
York City, we could feel the Hulk's death grip on
Yeah,
me.
you could. Yeah, with the Dexmo especially, you could be like grabbing, and you'd have to get to get all the fingers. There's like a deluxe model more than. Thank you so much. Oh, destroy.
Thanks, True Mama and Panda. You guys are awesome for the waters.
Thank you guys so much. I'm going to ask you
Talk
one more
nerdy,
question.
talk code. I understand. I am smart.
we're gonna start wrapping it up because we got about 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
But I have one more question for
Yeah,
you.
okay, go for it.
Unreal Engine and Frostbite Engine. I asked you this earlier.
Yeah.
What are the biggest key differences, and why is Unreal Engine better?
Better is subjective.
Subjective.
Like
okay.
I know, like I couldn't even say like Game Maker is better or worse, because depending on what you're making, like any engine is better or worse depending on what.
Okay.
For Frostbite, our major difference is you can't get a hold of Frostbite. You can get a hold of Unreal Engine right now. It's on our website. It's free. It's there. It's yours. Theirs, you have to have a deal with them and know them. Actually, it's funny story I was telling them earlier. I was at GDC, the Game Developer Convention. That's like our big one. E3 is nothing compared to GDC. Like, it is the big one.
I heard that.
Oh yeah. And so I'm at GDC. We're at a little diner, and I'm there with the Unreal Engine programmers and crew. And we look over, and it's the Frostbite crew. And we look at each other, and we're like, "Hey, you
guys!"
And I straight up lean over. I'm like, "We think your engine's pretty nice looking," and they're like, "We think yours is pretty nice looking too, actually."